even though it's not so terrific in these crazy times, it's still a terrific Tuesday. We're bringing you terrific guests, and just like this guy who's joined us many times before, Dr. Michael Busler joins us right now. He's a Ph.D. in public policy analyst, economics expert, and professor of finance at Stockton University. Doc, break down these executive orders. I'm really happy, of course, about the unemployment one, that they cut it from 6 to 4. I think Trump was in a little bit of a political jam there. He couldn't take it to 200 or 0 because then everyone will say Trump took my money, and that'll hurt him electorally. But he did get it down to 400 with the states covering 25%. I like that one. I love the corporate tax holiday. I've been begging Stephen Moore for that for like 6 months now. Break them all down for us. I think this is great news for the economy. I think it's great news for Trump's reelection.
Yeah, well, as you know, this would be really the second round of stimulus. Congress couldn't get together with the president to decide exactly what to do. The president is most concerned, obviously, with getting the recession over as quickly as possible and getting the economy back to normal. But he's also worried about the size of the federal deficit. Before the virus hit, the deficit this year would have been $1 trillion. They added $3 trillion in deficit in stimulus spending. So now we're up to close to a $4 trillion deficit. Tax revenue will be a little lower, so the deficit could be higher. That's 3 times higher than the worst deficit that we've ever had. So President Trump, being aware of that, said, look, we can't give people, unemployed people, an extra $600 on top of their unemployment compensation. And the reason is, one, we don't have the money, but two-thirds of the unemployed people are now making more money being unemployed than going back to work. That's resulted, and I've talked to probably 24 small business people who tell me the same thing. They're having trouble getting the workers to come back because they'd be making less money working than not working. So President Trump said, you can't keep doing that. Instead of 600 a week, let's make it 400 a week. Federal government will cover 300 of it. The state will have to cover the other 100, and if some states have a problem doing that, we can talk about it. So it will be a good thing for the unemployed people, and it will keep the deficit at least down from what it could have been.
So now we kind of created, I think, as much as the left-wing media wants to tell you how Donald Trump is crazy and he's not capable, he's not mentally stable, I think he created the perfect trap for them. Because now, if they want to go to court and start saying that these executive orders were illegal, then the Democrats are going to be in a position where they're going to be suing the president to take away the $400 that he just gave them. And I don't think anybody has much faith that the Democrats are going to do any better. So it sure seems like to me that Trump has ran a pretty good game on them here.
Yeah, I think he did. I think from a strategic standpoint, this is going to turn out to be excellent. I don't know whether these executive orders are legal or not, but somebody's going to have to challenge it. And as you correctly point out, if a Democrat says, I'm going to challenge this, he can't give extra money to unemployed people. Politically, that's a very difficult argument. John, one other key point, I'm not so sure we need all this stimulus. In the last 3 months, we've created more jobs than in any point in history. Normally, during a normal economy, you create 200,000, 300,000 jobs a month. During the recovery from the 2009 recession, the best month we ever had was about 400 and some thousand. In May, we created 2.8 million jobs. Retail sales went up 18% in the month of May. In June, we created almost double that, 4.6 million jobs in 1 month. Retail sales were up 8%. And then in July, even though parts of the economy were shutting down, we created another 1.8 million jobs. That's over 9 million jobs in 3 months, the most ever. Now, critics will say, yeah, but we came from a bad spot. We've lost over 20 million jobs. That's true. But if you're looking at the speed of the recovery, this is faster than any recovery has ever happened. So there's a question whether we need it. Politically, I think it's a good idea. And President Trump has come up with a compromise that helps unemployed people and doesn't do too much to the deficit.
No, well, look, I understand what you're saying. In my opening statement today, I was talking about that very thing, that a lot of people don't realize that not many other presidents would have had the business acumen to act that quickly. And I didn't love the fact that they were printing so much money, and we see the effects of that on the U.S. dollars at quite the low point right now. So that's going to happen when we flood the market with money. But he did prevent probably a much worse catastrophe by doing what any good businessman knows. If you got enough money to throw around, and we have an unlimited magic printing press, just print some money and flood the market with stimulus and liquidity, and that's what kept the macros alive, if you ask me.
Yeah, great point. President Trump is not a politician, although he's learning to be one. He is a business person, and a business person is concerned with results and getting results done quickly. He's not like a politician where he's concerned necessarily with perceptions, following the rules exactly the way you're supposed to, drag things out for years. He's going to get results quickly. He was able to do that. And working with Congress, that, as you know, is deeply divided, he was able to get a series of stimulus packages passed. And those packages did, I think, marvelously in turning the economy around rapidly. Although the Federal Reserve themselves a couple of months ago said unemployment will be at 10% at least until the end of the year, I think they're way off on this. Unemployment will go under 10% next month. I think by the end of the year, unemployment will be down probably close to 8%, very high, but a very rapid recovery. We were at 14.7% unemployment in March. We're now down to 10.2, and we're dropping rapidly. It's because President Trump knows what to do from a business standpoint, and President Trump was able to bring the sides together to get the first stimulus passed. The second one, he's not going to break the bank on this, so he'll do what he has to. The Democrats are now back talking to him, knowing that, as you correctly point out, Trump has really got the upper hand in this.
Yeah, it sure looks like he created quite the ballywick here to fight them off, and I think he's got them stuck, which is probably a good thing for America, and it's a good thing going into the home stretch of this re-election debate, because everyone knows that the president just gave him 400, and he suspended everybody's college student loans. Business owners got a 7% boost in their monthly revenue, and those who are employed got a 7% raise. So everyone's pretty much happy out there right now.
One last point, John. I was just going to say, I think we're in September and October, we're going to see a whole lot of real good news on the economic front. Also, I think some of these vaccines will be close to getting approved. I think all that good news will carry President Trump very well in November, and I think he's going to win re-election.
Me too. Dr. Michael Busler, professor of finance at Stockton University, always joins us when he can. Thank you very much. We'll have you back soon. All right, we're going to take a quick break. We'll come back right after this.